And welcome into the Paul Farrington Show, a Cowboys-Eagles reaction. Cowboys 33, Eagles 13, a routing in Dallas. Not one that we saw coming on the show. None of the guys. We all thought the Cowboys would win this game, but we did not see a 33-13, 20-point win for Dak and company. Dak 18 for 31, 206 yards, 2 touchdowns on the night. He's playing at an MVP level right now, and he is the favorite at the moment at plus 150. Brock Purdy plus 200 is in second, and there's a pretty big gap between them. And then you go down to Tua, Lamar, Jalen Hurts, those guys at plus 800. We're seeing a career year from Dak Prescott right now. And this is really where it gets scary for Cowboys fans because you've seen this story before. It's a little different this year. There's a slightly different feel to it, but you know the story. Regular season, you play great. Go into the playoffs and something happens, it just winds up that you don't show up for the week, or there's a play here or there, something ridiculous goes against you. And next thing you know, you're on the couch watching the Eagles or someone in the Super Bowl. So Dallas fans, I think that there's reason to believe though this time. And that's what's so frightening is that you actually have a chance this year. I believe this is probably your best chance with Dak Prescott so far, because when I look at Dallas at the moment, I see a team with everything, a team with an MVP level quarterback, an alpha receiver in CD Lamb, who started the year off slow, but since then has been tremendous. How many receivers in the league have been better than CD this year? You got a monster on defense in Micah Parsons. You have one of those guys who can blow up any game. Playmaking secondary, Deron Bland. He's more touchdowns than the Jets at one, or half as many touchdowns as the Jets at one point this season. Stephon Gilmore, all the guys back there. And I have to say, I love the complementary pieces on this offense as well. Jake Ferguson, he's been fantastic. Every single time I'm watching a Cowboys game, I hear his name the entire night. It's awesome. So this is a team in Dallas right now that's coming together really nicely. And I'm not sure if all Cowboys fans would have believed this was going to happen. They probably thought it was possible, but did they really think this was going to happen going back to that blowout loss against San Francisco earlier in the year? You lose in Philly in a game that you had a great chance to win. That's one of those games that you normally see from Dallas where something just doesn't go right. Dak steps out of bounds. There's the big penalties at the end of the game, the sacks. That's what we're used to with the Cowboys. So to see a 20-point win in a game where you now are tied for first in the NFC East, that doesn't normally happen. And I have to say, I do think Philadelphia still has to be considered the favorite. They have the tiebreaker. Their schedule down the rest of the season is a lot lighter than Dallas. Philly goes to Seattle. They host the Giants, host the Cardinals, and then go to the Giants. That should be 4-0, maybe 3-1 if Seattle shows up. Cowboys, on the other hand, at the Bills, at the Dolphins. They get the Lions, and then they go to the Commanders. That's 3 really hard games in addition to Washington there. Can Dallas win all of them? Absolutely. I said I think they're a top 3 team in the NFL right now behind Baltimore and the 49ers at the moment. But the opportunity is there. And if Dallas gets the 1 seed, that's what's so tough. We've been relating the Dolphins and the Cowboys most of the season on our show. We've said that both of them are really talented teams, but can they win that big game? And can they get to the Super Bowl? If they have trouble in these big games, getting the 1 seed for both of them is a huge, huge way to make that an easier path. Will it happen? Miami has a better chance than Dallas, I believe. But if Dallas gets the 1, look, they might be the pick. If they get the 1 seed, they might be the pick. I'm not taking Dallas. And it's not even a question of thinking. I'm not taking Dallas against San Francisco on the road. But in Dallas, on turf, we know the big difference that they have, all the stats, how much better they are on turf versus grass. Does that really matter? It probably does. So if they're able to get that 1 seed somehow, I think Dallas, the sky's the limit for them. For Philadelphia right now, though, this team has some soul searching to do. A couple weeks ago, you're sitting back here and it looks like they're going to cruise to the 1 seed and they're finding ways to win, even when they probably shouldn't be winning these games. They're finding ways to get it done. And they just have that Philadelphia, that grittiness to them. Nick Sirianni, the toughness for that team. Now that's in question. You get blown out by San Francisco, blown out by Dallas. What is the identity right now of the Philadelphia Eagles? Or what are they thinking in that locker room when they look at themselves compared to the other top teams in the NFC at the moment? I think that team has enough leaders. They have they have experience, a few Super Bowl champions in there. That locker room, I'm not going to bet against. I think it's one of the best ones in football. It seems like a very tight-knit team. I like Philly to bounce back and be strong, get the 1 seed, make a run at the Super Bowl. But this is the biggest point of contention that we've had. I say we, I hate the Eagles, but this is the biggest point of contention that Eagles fans have had in the past 2 years. You know, they're used to winning. They haven't had many struggles. And even this year, when they were struggling, they were winning. This is the first time now where you have to look in the mirror and say, okay, who is this team? Like, are we going to make another run here? I think they will, but man, not great to have San Francisco and Dallas push you around the way they have the past 2 weeks. It's going to be a battle in the NFC. I mean, these teams, I was saying to my friends, to the guys on the show earlier today, it's disappointing how these big NFC matches, we've been looking forward to them all year. You have San Francisco, Dallas, and the Eagles, but they've all been blowouts, or most of them. Other than the Dallas-Philly one, these games have not been very fun. It's San Francisco blowing them out, and then Dallas tonight. I wonder if we see that in the playoffs when these teams, it feels like inevitably they'll run into each other at some point. I'm not sure. It might just be a matter of who shows up. Will Mike McCarthy have the Cowboys ready? Because the 49ers are going to be ready. The Eagles are going to be ready come playoff time. Will Mike McCarthy have Dallas ready? And for the first time in a while, I think the answer might be yes. So congrats, Cowboys. You Cowboys fans, you've got a great win under your belt for Week 14. One that a lot of people, predicted you guys to win this game, but the manner with which you did it, it's impressive. Reason to be excited. And we'll see you for more Week 14 reaction content, Week 15 prediction show coming up later this week. Hey, still got my Viking gear behind me. Skull.